So thanks again, Chef Rasmus, for joining us again first. And obviously, one of the greatest chefs in the world, obviously, with getting the price for number one restaurant in the world, and a lot of other things you've accomplished as well. So it's great to finally
Yeah,
meet you both in
thank
person.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So first question I have, and these questions are more like related to what the changes you've made to Geranium
Yeah,
recently in
yeah.
that context. So I've read, obviously, you guys, the idea to remove meat from the main menu came to you in the middle of the night. So yeah, I'm curious why there's such a drastic change to the menu, especially obviously coming off a very successful run, being named, like I said, to be the number one restaurant in the world, Geranium. So how did that came about?
Um, I mean, taking meat of the menu was a decision that was growing inside me since many years because, I mean, we never been like a steakhouse. Geranium is not the place to go if you're a carnivore, if you only eat meat. And I think people knows that. That being said, we have like a storage room for charcuterie and aged wild ducks. Now it's switched into a vegetable room where we hang vegetables and we have the seasonal vegetables, potato, onions, root vegetables, depending on the season. So that's the most visual transformation, I would say. Um, I don't eat meat myself, and I haven't been eating meat since many, yeah, 5 years now. Of course, when I'm judging in a competition, sometimes I have to taste it, and that's okay. But personal, it's not something I need in my life, and that's why I felt it. I felt it was right to take meat off the menu at Geranium because if I don't meat, why should I cook meat and serve it? And we took it as a challenge. I mean, then we can dig in to the plant world instead. We can uh, discover the beautiful ocean we have surrounding our tiny country a little more. So I think it was nice. I mean, sometimes we need a nice challenge. So we did not, I did not see it as, I was saying goodbye to something. I was just more like welcoming something new in. Um, so it's a personal question. And it came over a time, and then it's true after reflecting about Geranium, and I want to take Geranium in a new direction, that it fit in like saying goodbye to all the signature dishes, paint wild Danish nature on the wall, insects on the wall, wild Danish plants, donate money to protect Danish wild nature, and then say goodbye to the meat at the same time. And that sounds easy, but it was a long decision. We're all bound by traditions, and I just felt it was the right time to do it. And Geranium has been open for many years now, so we need to take Geranium in another direction. Always um, improving and doing what feels good in the stomach.
Yeah, sometimes you have to believe in yourself and how you feel in your gut, for sure. So when you're doing the change, what was the process involved? And did you find it was easier to find inspiration? Did you have to change the way you work in terms of how you think about certain things, or when you're processing, or how you work with the team, anything like that?
I mean, first of all, I felt, that I got a little stuck in all the signature dishes that we have been creating over the years. And it will be very easy for me just to continue doing what we did because more time to drink coffee. But I'm not that type of person. I like a challenge in life. And I believe it's also a way that we also could kind of wake up together after the pandemic. Something happened. Um, I have more time to reflect about the life I would love to live in the future and what I could change. I was more with my kids and family, so it makes sense to go in a more environment-friendly direction. And but it was nice with that challenge. And saying goodbye to all the signature dishes also opened up for something else to come. I felt more freedom, and it was very joyful to work on the new menu and try to set it up differently than I did before. New ideas, new serving, new porcelain, plates, cutlery. I think it's what I need sometimes, to shake everything together and grow from there.
So really a lot of things that you have to rethink in terms of, like you said, just the way even down to the china, the cutlery, everything you have to think about in a certain new ways, right? What are some of the things that you had to think about, in terms of the way you work or
I
even like
mean,
sourcing?
the first thing that happened after the pandemic was we opened Angelica, the plant-based casual restaurant. We opened that in the inspiration room where I'm sitting right now. And that was a really great gift to a complicated time where we all need hope for a better future. So Angelica was kind of the light in the dark that lead us in the direction to take the geranium later. So if it hasn't been for Angelica, where we cook these plant-based, healthy, tasty meals full of energy, like very simple way of cooking, like I do for my little family at home. That was really inspiring and great, and nice to challenge the chef to work without tweezers and have more like feelings to the food, and more like this needs to be based on very local seasonal ingredients cooked in the best possible way, very fast from the pan or the pot to the table. Um, so it's full of aroma. That was very inspiring for us, and that lead us to also guide me in the direction to take the next step with geranium. So it was like a nice challenge for me and the team, but it's also I felt that we need to come closer together.
So you guys, I guess, started working even closer than before in terms of creating certain things and
I
working
think
together.
so, because when you start something completely new up, it's always a challenge. How will it go? How will guests receive it? How do you feel about it? That you never know. So it's something we need to shape and create together. And I think it was just what we needed coming back from lockdown where we had been isolated. So kind of joining forces and create something that can do a change for the world, but also for us was really inspiring.
Yeah, obviously during the pandemic, everything changed, for better or worse, right? So when you
Yes.
come back together, obviously
And
there's a
then
lot more.
then then I just then it just slowly makes sense, and I saw it very clear, like in what direction we should guide geranium into, um, giving back to nature by Denmark is a farming country. A lot of the land is, a lot of people see it's like a very green, eco-friendly country, but it's also a country with a huge amount of space for farming, where they don't treat animals very well. 90% of that is we sell to the outside world. 10% is for Denmark. It's a lot of money, but it creates an unbalance in the ecosystem, also in the ocean. And for that reason, I think it's very nice to donate money to protect the wild Danish nature, because we need that. We don't have so much wild Danish nature in Denmark. So it's nice to give something back.
For sure, it's just protecting the future and making sure everyone
Yeah, and that's
is
how, in the menu right now, when you come to Geranium, you will see in this little welcome letter that you can donate money to protect wild Danish nature, and you will receive the Angelica cookbook, which is like a very simple recipe book with some nice, healthy and tasty dishes. And I think it's nice to give something back and to inspire people in another direction.
Great. I'm actually wondering, as you're mentioning, as you create the new menus and doing these new things, did you feel a little bit something like you were back in competition? Back in the day when you're going for book to store and kind of just that same feeling a little bit?
Um, yes, but it was not that there will. I love the process, and for me, the most fascinating things about my book to store adventure or coaching other countries to succeed and podium in Lyon and Europe is the journey and work with people and have like goals together and how can we reach them. But for me, it's not like when I stand in the spotlight with the goal. It's like the process leading to that final destination, which can be to receive the goal. That learning process, you challenge yourself. You need to believe in yourself. You need to do a lot of work and research to become a better person and a better chef, of course. So I really enjoy that. And yes, some things are related. I mean, my passion and determination is, of course, there. Even it's not like a real competition, but it's also like bringing the team and creating that energy around the team, and we join forces and go in the same direction. And that will always be fascinating.
Yeah, that's as a team, right? As a kitchen, obviously everyone supports each other. So that's, I can imagine, a very important thing for you for sure. Um, Talking about the new menu that you've created, is there a particular dish you're proud of? And then on the same level, is there anything that you wish could work out better? Maybe an ingredient that you could have, showcase more, or something that you wish that you'd be able to bring to the guests a little bit more, whatever the case may be?
I think right now the menu that I really love on the menu is a menu called Today's Harvest, where we can use like the small micro seasons in between the larger seasons. So right now we can use the wild forest garlic, the ramson, the wood sorrel, sprouted kale on the field, and we can include that to the dish. It's very beautiful. We bring these vegetables to the table raw and tell a little about them and how we cook them. And then after we serve that dish, it's the last savory course on the menu, which is also sending a nice signal that the last savory course doesn't have to be like meat or fish. It can be a vegetable dish. And I like that it's always changing. It's changing every day. I mean, that's really interesting to work with a dish like that. That being said, we are going into the spring season right now, and in 1 week the rhubarb will be here. Then we will have, we'll have nettles. We need to include them on the menu. That's a traditional wild plant that we use in the Nordic countries since many years. Soon we will have asparagus season. So we're always adjusting a little bit. And yesterday we were working on some new ideas. Sometimes we move very fast, sometimes we move slow. But we need to try, and we need to work with these ideas and see how they can grow.
Right. And are there any things that it's kind of challenging to work with that you haven't quite figured out yet how to present it or how to use it?
The most difficult thing with saying goodbye to meat is that we don't use like gelatin from, gelatin is made from veal or pork, which is actually a little disgusting. You find that in a dessert, um, but that's how it is. And the way gelatin works is like that. It's gonna melt in your mouth feeling, if you add it to a mousse or whatever. But we find like a similar fish gelatin, and we are working now with seaweed to create the same texture. That's a challenge. But now we don't use gelatin from porks or veal, of course, because we don't serve meat like that. Right now we use the fish gelatin, and we are working on the seaweed combination. And that's interesting. And that one we are not finished with.
It was interesting actually because I just came back from Tokyo,
Yeah.
and when you're mentioning that, I'm just thinking about how they love that sort of smooth and sort of gelatinous texture.
Yeah.
And how they use different powders and agar and things like that to sort of have that thing, not necessarily using gelatin, but something similar to that.
Something, kind of a plant-based, I guess. But it's reacting different, but different can also be good if you nail it. So, but it's something where I feel we can improve a little bit, but we're getting better at it.
For sure. Now, talking about plant-heavy food, it seems like more high-end restaurants are shifting towards that. Is there any particular reason you think? To you, what do you think is the reason?
To go more in the plant-based direction, or?
Yeah, just in general, restaurant world seem to be more open to
I think just the world is slowly changing. I can see here what you can get just like in a grocery store of different plant-based products is much more than 10 years ago. So I guess there's a market for it. I mean, some people want to change and contribute to create a better environment and eat maybe a more balanced diet, which is important. In Denmark, we eat so much meat like we ever did before because it's a rich country, and that excuse is not good, I feel. So I think it's nice for me to inspire people to think about vegetables and plant-based diet as a nice alternative in the weekly dinners at home. I mean, I'm not saying you should change completely, but adding a bit of it is great. It's great for human care and also for the environment. And I think that's just a movement you find in the world right now. But what's important for me is also what I eat. And that's something I care about. So for me, food is not just about cooking something delicious for other people. It's also, how can I eat something that makes me a better person? I can be more focused. I can live longer. I can have a more healthy and balanced life. And that's something I'm testing all the time. I just found it very fascinating and interesting.
Yeah, that's true. I've talked to some other people and chefs and things like that worked with athletes, and a lot of them are shifting towards a more plant-based diet for performance reasons. So I do find it very interesting as far as the human health aspect as well, how that might improve someone's well-being and health feeling and how they live their life basically.
I mean, that's how we in the Nordic countries was forced to eat back in time, because we did not have a big selection. Then came all the reindeer, and we start hunting reindeers, and the only thing we eat was almost reindeers. And now we are in a position where we have a very rich country, a good economy, and we have so many things to choose in between. So it's different. Now we don't need to survive. When you look at it, back in the days, we were actually eating to survive the next day. That's not how you see food anymore. You see more, okay, do I want a big steak or a baked potato or pizza tonight? That can be very tasty, enjoyable. But will it make me a better person? Will it bring something to boost my immune system? Will it, will it make me live a longer life? I mean, things is a balance, and it's not that I'm like completely fanatic because I like to, if I feel like eating a lot of cheese one day with bread, I will just do that, but it's not something I do every day. And then I actually enjoy it more. I enjoy being on a little more strict diet during the weekdays, and then sometimes, I feel better with eating something that I maybe want that day.
It's like that cheat days, right? The
Yeah, yeah.
bodybuilders would have a cheat day, yeah. And it's interesting too, like as I'm traveling, a lot of places recently I've been to is more meat based, like you said. So,
Mm.
me personally, even a lot of times I would want to have whatever, like even salad or some vegetables or fruits if I can find it,
Yeah.
just to
Yeah,
clean it.
it's a balance, and we as chefs are cooking for other guests to make them happy and create a great meal, but we forget ourselves in all this. I mean, you're not educated at chef school about what is good for you to eat, to be a better leader, to stay focused all the hours. I mean, a lot of chefs is eating a very poor diet. Too much sugar and fat, and at the end it burns us out. I mean, so I also think that it's one of the reasons that I've been in the game for a long time now, and still got the passion and fire. It's also one of the reasons.
It gives you energy to deal with different things, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm. And from that perspective, from a restaurant perspective, what do you think is the main challenge if they decide to go with a more plant-heavy menu? And is there something that you do to overcome that, any challenge that you find?
Um, I mean, a good chef is also a person that can cook the right things at the right time. I mean, you will not cook a very complicated 10-course dinner for a family meal. And I mean, sometimes you need to do simple, nice things. I mean, it's also about feeling and what is the occasion. Um, and that's the same with, I mean, it can come in more smaller doses. It's not that we need to change, I mean, everything from one day to another. It, I mean, we are free to do it, of course. My dream is to open Angelica on a more permanent base, and that's something that will happen one day. Like a casual restaurant with like really great organic, biodynamic vegetables, plant-based dishes which taste so good. So you will never think about that you want a piece of meat. Um, I would love to inspire by doing that. I mean, the latest things that we did, because my son, he likes kebab, and I understand why it can taste really good. And I used to eat it when I was younger. And I just developed a plant-based kebab, which was so good that we were like, when me and my assistant head chef created it, we were like, we need to open a shop or a store and sell this because this is insane. This is so good. And we also had like food critic tasting it, and it was like, whoa, that was good. So it's also sometimes to take a challenge and to take your focus and your passion and put into something else and see what can come out of that.
And I'm curious, what is the main ingredient in the kebab then?
That was like the flour starch based. So it's kind of a block, and then you marinate it. I mean, we slice it very thin, and we marinate with coriander, with cinnamon, with garlic, with salt, um, and then we just slowly roast it on the pan, and we bake like homemade pita. We made like yogurt dressing with parsley and cucumber. It was a plant-based yogurt. Then we had like red pointed kale and red onions mixed together with a lot of coriander. And we just stuffed that in, and we also did a nice chili on the side. And this was just so good.
It does sound very
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely good. Yeah. But I guess, the thing would be, how do you, I guess, convince, in quotes, someone to go to, let's say, a plant-based restaurant versus a normal restaurant, right? I guess maybe the part of education. I don't know how that would work. I have no idea.
I mean, just by doing it. Actually, I met like a chef friend this morning, and we are cooking with 40 kids from the school where our kids is going on Tuesday. And he's a good friend, but I haven't been seeing him for many years. And I was just saying, okay, I was ordering a cappuccino with oat milk. I checked it's a good quality oat milk, and I got that one. And I was like, so Frederick, do you want oat milk in the coffee? No, I would love like milk from the cow. And I told him, this is good. Try it. You should try it. And he was like, yeah, why not? He tried it. He likes it. That's a good way to convince people. I will not go out and say, you should do this, you should do that. But I like that by tasting things, you can see, wow, this is actually good. This is actually more tastier and better than I actually thought it would be. So why not choose that one? I mean, for example, we have like plant-based butter, organic in the supermarket, which is cheaper than the normal butter. So people will go for that one, and it sells a lot. They're making a lot of money right here in Denmark with the plant-based butter. So if the quality is good, and but sometimes we are so stuck in our traditions and way we grows up that it's difficult for human beings to break out of that kind of shell we are in, that bubble we are in, just because we're used to something. And that can be tough sometimes. I tried it myself, but that was the opposite way. Normally, when I had my cereals in the morning, I would add the cow's milk. Then I try plant-based milk, and I don't really like it. But then over time, I feel like now I can only have my cereal with plant-based milk. I cannot add the cow's milk. It's too much. The flavor is too strong, and the aroma is too strong. I feel I don't enjoy it. So I think you just need to try and be open.
Yeah, it sounds like this part of the education as well as people start to get used to the idea of more plant-based diets and be able to try different things, and maybe they like it and then becomes a habit.
And I can feel a lot of things is happening right now. I mean, general in the world, and also in Denmark, especially the younger generation is more open for it. I mean, like a Danish male in the 50s is not maybe the person to try it, but a lot of other people will, and it's the future. In the future, there will be a better balance. I'm 100% sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. You also mentioned earlier, I read in an interview that you take diners in a journey. It's about giving great experiences and giving hope to people. So, for you, what experience do you wish your guests to have when they come visit Geranium?
I mean, the world and life in general is so complicated with all the informations that we have. We've been through Corona, wars, uh, wars in Gaza and with the Palestine people and Israeli, and you know it. Maybe Trump will be elected again in USA. It's so many things to concern about. So I think we just need like a time out, where we can just enjoy the company, where we can enjoy some hopefully that's what we're aiming for, some inspiring food, which can relate to the brain and the heart, have a peaceful time. And geranium, it's we really did a lot to make people enter our universe. So when they take the lift and you enter 8th floor, there will be the welcoming, of course, the room that me and Søren have been created over time with all the things that we love. Tables, chairs is something we crafted with some artists, and makes geranium special. And there's a lot of details, the music, the sounds, the way people work together, the very open kitchen, the wine, the juice pairing, all these things is my hope that people will digest as creative inputs to their life.
It is very different. Even before you guys, I guess you have a makeover since I've been in Geranium, but even when I was there, the elevator coming up, obviously at the stadium outside, and coming in the stadium, the elevator, and then when the doors open, it does feel very different as far as the way you look at things and the view and everything, and the restaurant itself. Obviously, it gives you, I'm a different world, kind of basically.
Yeah. That's what we are trying to do. Yeah.
Very nice. I think it's a great success in that sense. Finally, thanks again, Chef Rasmus, for being with us. Last question. Any exciting new things you're working on you can share with us? Anything that you were working on?
Right now we are working on the Geranium book, which is gonna be 2 books. One about the journey and about the friendship. Me and Søren, my great friend and partner at Geranium. The journey that we've been together, all the ups and downs. And then the other book will be like the recipes of the new Geranium and some of the people that's very important to, I mean, the team, of course, but also some suppliers, which has been contributing over the years to make Geranium what it is today. So it's very interesting process. It's also a process which needs a lot of focus. It takes time to write everything and organize it, and the recipes, of course, and the photos. But I like the process, and that's gonna be great. So that's something we're working on. And then we do Angelica pop-ups here and there to raise money to different charities, and we're gonna do one soon again. We just need to have the final details set. But it's my wish that we can go to a biodynamic farm and cook something nice out there. So that's what we've been working on. So, and other than that, we just try to, make this beautiful place more amazing for us. I mean, it's about the guests, but it's also about the people working and spending a lot of time of our life here. And so far, I'm pretty happy about what we've been creating and the team spirit and the positive energy. And that's something I want the guests to feel and hope they can feel when they're here. And that's nice to be a part of.
Yeah, that sounds very nice. It's interesting. A lot of chefs I talk to, eventually the suppliers of what they cook, the ingredients become a huge part of their success, because obviously, especially I imagine as a more plant-heavy restaurant, it's very, very important for you guys to have the best produce and best products, best that you can get. So that relationship becomes very important.
Yeah, and it's a very long relationship. I mean, we started up in 2007 with Geranium in King's Garden, and that's where we start with some of the suppliers. We took the soul to Parken, where we are now, and we still have the same. So it has been quite some years.
Yeah, so that's
and that's something we need to salute and be happy about, because in a world where times, where things is going so fast, I mean, you're just on to the next. You want the next fix, you want the next big menu, the next great restaurant, you want a bigger car. I mean, everything is going so fast sometimes. So, like a long-term relationship with like the suppliers is something that we need to mention. This is very important for geranium as it is today.
Partnership for sure is very important. So that's all the questions I have, Chef Rasmus.
All
Thanks again
right.
for
Thank you. And
yeah.
then
Thanks
have
for
a
being with
great
us.
weekend. Take care.
For sure, you as well, and
Bye-bye.
we'll see you soon.